Hello everyone and welcome to episode 13. We're going to start this off by adding our jump to our character. So go to your all, then go to content, Metahuman RPG folder, input folder, and input action folder. In here, we're going to right click and we're going to go to input and then we're going to go to input action. And we're going to name this Meta IA jump. And the reason we're doing this is because we already have an IA jump in our ruin system. So we got to make meta for this one. Now go back to your input folder by clicking right here. Now open up your meta context. And we're going to add a new mappings. You're going to use this drop down to select our meta IA jump. And we're going to press this keyboard and press the space bar. Now we're going to save and close out. Now what I want you to do is go to your tools bar and open up Visual Studio. Now that you're in your Visual Studio's editor, go to your Solution Explorer, find your games folder, then open it up. Open up your Metahuman RPG folder. Go to your source folder. Now open up your Metahuman RPG folder, your game framework folder. Now find your meta player controller header and your meta player controller source file. In your meta player controller.h, scroll down to your move action, and we want to copy paste all of this. So you can right click it, copy, or control C, whichever one you want to do. And right before your interact, we want to copy paste here. And we're going to change this to jump action. And then we're going to change this to jump. Now we're going to create a definition for our jump. And we need to scroll up to our setup input component. And we want to copy our interact. And copy paste it and rename it to jump action and rename this to jump. Scroll back down to your definition for your jump. In there, you'll see that I've added some code. I want you to copy this code, so pause and copy. And then I'll give you a definition for each line of code. Now let's do a line-by-line explanation of our code. If a pawn pointed at control pawn gets pawn. This is the first check and a crucial one. Get pawn is a function that returns a pointer to the pawn currently being controlled by the player or AI. A pawn is a base class in Unreal Engine for any in-game entity that can be possessed and controlled. A pawn pointed at controlled pawn equals declares a pointer variable named control pawn of a type a pawn. The asterisk indicates it's a pointer, meaning it stores a memory address where a pawn object is located. The entire line is inside an if statement. This means the code inside the curly braces will only execute if getPawn returns a valid pointer, not a null pointer, which means nothing. This is a safety check to prevent crashes if there's no pawn associated with the controller. This is called an assignment within a conditional. Line 2. If a character pointed at local character equals cast a character controlled pawn. This is another if statement nested inside the first one. It performs a cast. Cast a character controlled pawn attempts to convert the controlled pawn, which is a generic pawn, into a more specific type, a character. A character is a subclass of a pawn. This represents a character that can walk, run, jump, and etc. It has specific functionality for the movement. A character pointed at local character equals declares a pointer variable named local character of type a character. Again, it's a pointer because we're dealing with objects in memory. The if statement checks if the cast was successful. If control pawn was actually a character or a subclass of it, the cast will succeed and local character will hold a valid pointer to the character. If control pawn was not a character, it was a vehicle or some other type of pawn. The cast will return null pointer and the code inside this inner if will be skipped. This is another important safety check. Line 3. If local character can jump. This is the final check. Local character can jump is a function provided by the a character class. It checks if the character is currently allowed to jump, it's not already in the air, or is not in a state where jumping is disabled. The arrow operator is used to access members, functions, or variables of an object through a pointer. So local character can jump calls the can jump function of the character object that local character points to. Line 4. Local character jump. If all previous checks pass, there's a valid pawn. It's a character and it's allowed to jump. This line finally executes. Local character jump calls the jump function of the a character class, which initiates the jump action. Why all the checks? The multiple if statements and casts are essential for robustness. They prevent crashes that could occur if there's no pawn associated with the controller, the pawn is not a character trying to call jump, or a non-character pawn would be an error. The character is not in a state where it can jump. This layered approach ensures that the jump action is only performed when it's safe and valid to do so. Now that we're done with our code, let's compile our project by going up to Build and Build Solution. The shortcut for build is F7. So let's build our solution. Now we want to go to our debug, and start without debug is Control F5. So we press this and we'll open up our project. Now that we're back in our Unreal editor, what we need to do now is go to our Metahuman RPG folder and go to our game framework folder, and we open up our controller BP. In here, we want to add our jump, and we got to find our meta IA jump, and we compile and save and close this out, and we click on this, make sure it's in the selected viewport, and press play. If you like what you saw, hit the like and subscribe button and join my Discord via the description below, and join my Unreal Engine community. Even if you're not from Memphis, you're more than welcome to join. I do meetups every 2 months, virtually and in person, and I would love to hear from you guys, so join my Discord and I'll see you next time.